Hello, everyone. I'm David Charlo, Director of Choral Activities here at Missouri Southern State University. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to this year's presentation of a seasonal choral flourish. This year, our choral flourish looks a little bit different than in years past. Because of the pandemic, we decided it best to take 2 evenings and record the flourish for you, something you can keep as a memory, we hope, for the many years to come. As in the past, we have joined St. Peter the Apostle Catholic Church in putting together this presentation, our home since we started the flourish back in December of 2010. As we said, this year's concert looks a little bit different. Because of the spread of aerosols through singing, we felt it best to do our recording in masks. And so you'll see our students in masks. What you will hopefully be able to tell is the amount of fun we still had performing this concert for you. Because on those 2 evenings, the spirits were high and the energy was high. Students had a great time doing this for you. So we began with what has become one of our favorite selections, one that I think that you also look forward to, Personate Odie, our wonderful processional featuring the Missouri Southern Trumpet Ensemble. Again, thank you so much for being here. We hope you enjoyed the performance.
What I love about the Missouri Southern State University Music Department is the fact that every day I get to come and rehearse with other musicians that love music just as much as I do. So even rehearsals, singing together, and hearing the harmonies all around us every day just brings a lot of joy. The other thing that I like about the Choral Flourish is that we come into this beautiful cathedral in this space, and all this hard work that we have done culminates together, and the sound fills the whole room. The two songs I'll be introducing are Break Forth, O Beauteous Heavenly Light by Johann Sebastian Bach and Sing We Now of Christmas, arranged by Fred Prentice. Break Forth, O Beauteous Heavenly Light by Johann Sebastian Bach is a hymn sung during Epiphany. Epiphany is a season during the liturgical church calendar where we celebrate the Magi coming to see the Christ child. You can hear the Magi's perspective in the text of the song where it says, "This child now weak in infancy, our confidence and joy shall be, the power of Satan breaking, our peace eternal making." Imagine you're a congregation sitting in church during the Christmas season, and you get to sing this song from that perspective. The next song, Sing We Now of Christmas, was arranged by Fred Prentice, and it's an old French carol that actually accompanies an old French tradition where families get together and they make handmade nativity sets out of clay. See if you can hear the voices of the shepherds, the angels, and the Magi as we sing this song.
what I like most about the Choral Flourish is actually the venue that we get to sing in. Singing in the St. Peter's Cathedral is such a cool experience. It brings the music to life in ways that some singers don't get to experience, and we're lucky enough to be able to experience that every single year during the Choral Flourish at St. Peter's Cathedral. So I think that's one of the coolest things about our Choral Flourish. When thinking about what I like most about the music department in general, it's seeing the reminder of how important music can be to myself and to others around me. You know, every day I get to see the process of music from beginning to end, and sometimes that process can be taxing, sometimes it can be exhausting, but in the end it's always rewarding, and it really gives back to you, the singer, the musician, and it gives back in a way that not everything can. And it really goes to show me that music can change people's lives, and every day that I'm in the music department, it continues to change my life. The two pieces that I'll be introducing are Hail Mary by William Dawson and I Love the Winter Weather, arranged by Mac Huff. Hail Mary was composed in 1949, and the composer, William Dawson, was born in 1899 and died in 1990. And over the course of his life, he wrote multiple different kinds of works. He wrote orchestral works, chamber works, choral works, but was most notably known for his spirituals. Hail Mary was part of the Tuskegee choir series, apart with some other notable spirituals that were written by Dawson, such as Every Time I Feel the Spirit and Ezekiel Saw the Wheel. I Love the Winter Weather, as arranged by Mac Hunt, is a fun, upbeat, and jazzy spin on the Irving Berlin tune. Thrust into the popular sphere by Tony Bennett on the Christmas album entitled The Christmas Album, such a fun album, and really helps articulate this song as one of the standard Christmas and holiday songs of our time. We hope you enjoy it as much as we do.
Next up, we have the Missouri Southern Madrigal Singers. The Missouri Southern Madrigal Singers are a very special group of singers here at Missouri Southern, and it is definitely one of my favorite things of the choral Flourish. This ensemble must come together and learn to perform without the conduction of Dr. Charlo in front of them. He's not up there waving his arms and leading them in the right direction. Instead, they're feeling it together as a complete whole. In these selections, we have Susani and Christmas Time is Here. Susani is an old German carol. In this version, we have it arranged by Parker and Shaw. It comes from Germany. The melody that you will hear comes from an old German carol, whereas the words that you will hear actually come from a carol that doesn't have a known melody. The name Susani is not actually a name. Instead, it comes from a combination of two German words, Sus and Nin, meaning sleep child. As you can tell, it's probably baby Jesus in the manger. Next up, we have Christmas Time is Here. Originally for a Charlie Brown Christmas. In this arrangement, we have Robert Sterling giving us a nice jazzy arrangement where you can feel the warmth of Christmas, cozy by the fire, and a little bit of chill on the back of your neck from those Christmas chords. Probably some of my favorite jazz is Christmas jazz. Vince Guaraldi wrote this song for a Charlie Brown Christmas back in 1965. He wrote an instrumental version, but there was this guy named Lee Mendelson who just wouldn't stop bugging him about getting some lyrics in there. So now we have our well-known tune, Christmas Time is Here. I'm sure you'll all know these selections, and I'm sure you'll all enjoy them by the Missouri Southern Madrigal Singers.
Now Jesus was the child.
Hi, I'm Preston Hamilton. I'm a senior here at Missouri Southern State University, and this is my 4th year in choir. I love the seasonal choral Flourish because it gives us a real sense of community and connection to Joplin. I also love singing in choir because it gives us kind of that same sense of family and connection when the rest of the day we're just, going to class and doing our work or going to work and just going through the daily motions. Our next song is Hark the Herald Angels Sing. It's a Christmas classic. The original lyrics are Hark how all the welkins ring. Welkins was a word that means something along the lines of expanse of the heavens. The arranger of this piece is Walter Pels, and I really hope you enjoy this performance.
Hello, my name is Sophie Stovall, and I am a sophomore theater performance major here at Missouri Southern State University. I am a second-year choir student, and I love the choral department because of how much we feel like a family. This is my second year performing in the Choral Flourish, and I love the Choral Flourish because of all the joy and happiness it brings. It brings the community together for the Christmas season. The next song we'll be singing is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, written by Clement Clark Moore and set to music by Ken Darby. This piece is arranged by Harry Simeone, and it's one of my favorites, so I hope you enjoy.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that Saint Nicholas soon would be there.
The children were nestled all snug in their wee little beds, while pigeons of sugar plums danced in their wee little heads.
Mamma in her kerchief and I in my cap, never done longer ago such a clatter. I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, threw open the sash.
Tops the coursers they flew with a sleigh full of toys.
And St. Nicholas too.
And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof all the clattering noise.
Of each galloping hoof.
All bundled in fur from his head to his foot.
His clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot.
I grew in my head and was turning around.
When down the chimney he came with a His eyes, how they twinkled so gay. His dimples, how merry were they. His cheeks were like roses when kissed by the sun.
His nose like a cherry, all wrinkled with fun.
His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow. The beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a little old pipe he held tight in his teeth.
And the smoke went around and around and around his head like a wreath.
Oh, he was so jolly and plump, a right jolly old elf.
And I laughed and I laughed and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself.
He had a broad face
And a little round belly.
that shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly.
He gave me a wink of his eye and a twist of his head.
I chuckled and smiled. I knew all the while I had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work. He filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose,
I like most about the music department here at Missouri Southern is how inviting it is. There are people from all different majors that come together and we sing and play instruments together, and it's just very nice because we get to meet people from all different departments. What I love most about the Choral Flourish is how we get to listen to classical Christmas music. This day and age, we don't really get to hear Christmas carols coming around and knocking on our doors and listening to these beautiful pieces. And it's just really gets you in the spirit of Christmas when you come to the Flourish. The next two songs I will be introducing are O Magnum Mysterium by Lordson and See That Babe by Stacey Gibbs. O Magnum Mysterium is a responsorial chant, and it's sung in Latin, and it's a story about Jesus Christ's birth. See That Babe is a spiritual Christmas song, and it starts very straightforward, and as you go in, it gets more and more and more exciting, and it just ends the audience in wow. I hope you guys enjoy these two songs.
Amen.
My name is Michaela West. What I like about Choral Flourish is preparing the pieces and getting to hear it for the first time with everybody in perfect harmony and getting that rush of performing a really impactful and intense piece of music for the first time all together. What I like about the MSSU music department is that I feel like I have gained a lot of opportunities, not just at Missouri Southern, but outside of Southern. And I also like that my musical ability and my knowledge of music has grown a lot being a part of concert chorale and chamber singers. Joy to the World was written by Isaac Watts, and this version is arranged by Douglas J. Benton. As of the 20th century, Joy to the World is the most produced and most published choral hymn in North America. The Most Wonderful Time of the Year was written in 1963 by Eddie Pello and George Weil, and it was originally performed by Andy Williams on The Andy Williams Show. I hope you enjoy these pieces as much as I do.
Prepare
my name is Willow Jones. This is my third year in choir and my last. I'm a senior. My favorite part about Choral Flourish is a difficult question for me because I look so forward to it and I'm going to miss it so much. But if I had to pick, I would say it's probably just the connectivity that I feel with the group as a whole whenever we get to perform in a space like that church. It's so beautiful, and I love feeling connected to my friends as one, like emotionally, and being able to connect with, the audience, or in this case, the people who are watching us. I think it's just a beautiful thing that we get to do to contribute music to the community for them to enjoy and to listen to. It just warms my heart to be able to do that. And then my favorite part of being in the music program at MSSU is very easy. That is definitely the relationship that I have with all of my professors and my teachers. I'm a voice student primarily, so my voice teachers have been absolutely amazing that I've had over the past 3 years. So caring, so willing to help, willing to meet with me whenever if I don't feel prepared. I love having that personal relationship with them, but not even just them, my music theory professor, my oral skills professor, Dr. Charlo, they've all been amazing, and I love having that one-on-one relationship with them, and they've all contributed to the progress of my voice, and I definitely don't think I would be where I am if it weren't for them, and I don't think I would get that at any other school, so I am very, very grateful. So for our last selection, it is our classic O Holy Night that we do every year. It is credited to Adolphe Charles Adams, this rendition is, but it was actually written by a French poet in 1847. His name was Placide Cappeau, and he wasn't even a Christian at the time. He was commissioned by his local church to write a poem in celebration of an organ that the church was actually getting. So he wrote the words for the church, and then he was friends with Adams, who he then asked to put the words that he had written to music. So that is where the song that we all know and love comes from, and I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you so much for joining us on this crazy journey of 2020 Choral Flourish, and I hope you all have a safe and Merry Christmas.
Savior's birth.
Well, we hope you have enjoyed this year's A Seasonal Choral Flourish. In closing, I'd like to share with you something that I wrote my students. As you know, the arts are having a difficult time during this pandemic. And I wanted to give hope to my students as they anticipate their futures in the arts. And here's what I said to them. I ask you to not give up on the things you are doing, to not give up pursuing this art, because my dear students, the arts will not die. I know this because from a historical standpoint, the arts have always been at the forefront of changes due to past pandemics and any other monumental event that has ever happened, period. Some of you will be the change makers. Some of you will be the driving force behind the change makers, while some of you will be the necessary foundation upon which change will take place. However, you, dear students, will all be a part in helping the arts to stay alive. Remember, and I quote, in 1606, Shakespeare's theater was forced to close because of the plague. So, he wrote King Lear, Macbeth, Antony, and Cleopatra. So, my dear students, wash your hands, be grateful, get better at what you do. So in that spirit, I ask you, my dear patrons, to also keep that faith as you look to this holiday season with your family and your friends. Thank you so much for being a part of our Missouri Southern family, our choral department. Thank you.